All right, it's now time for free talk on the Oracion Seis arc or Oracion Seis arc of Fairy Tail.
So I got two commentaries to make here. One, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think recommendations at this point is needed.
Yeah.
We've already covered recommendations, and unless this arc has inspired something new in you.
I mean, if you really like that fight scene with Gray, Leon and Racer, go watch JoJo, like season 3 onward. All the fights like try to be like that, where it's like, oh, we need to figure out how this ability actually works.
You want a better, faster fight of like a giant ass mechanical monster? Konosuba.
Jesus. What I do want to bring up is, I brought up last episode that there was a thing with Lucy getting the keys.
Mm-hmm.
So I have discovered that it does in fact happen in like the first half of the first episode of the filler arc. And I would like to seek your guys' permission to include that one scene. Like, I will go and find it on my own and just single out the scene for you in my next submission of Fairy Tail. Just so you can see.
Does the filler arc properly start in that episode, or is it
No. The filler arc has like an episode that's basically just Wendy acclimatizing to the guild and like this interaction with Gemini.
Why not just stick that in there into your next submission, or does it fit?
Because then I'm at 21 episodes
oh,
total.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
So I was trying to avoid you having to watch 21 episodes total.
We can discuss the math of this later.
Yeah.
I don't have a specific decision on this.
Yeah, because the arc itself is a solid
like
20 episodes.
We don't need to watch the filler arc, but that one episode sounds more like an interlude than a filler arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also,
one of my biggest criticism of Oracion Seis was that it doesn't take enough time to slow down and actually flesh out its plot.
Yeah.
I feel like slowing down might be in order.
I mean, I feel it's just a slog fest because it's that much fight, but like, it really doesn't.
Well, I will say, Edolus is not a giant fight arc.
Right.
Edolus has a little bit more story incorporated into it and world building. It is not just a giant knockdown, drag out fight. Edolus is a lot more story centric.
I have an in-between option here.
What?
We split it up.
No. We'll be right back, guys, after we watch one more episode of Fairy Tail together.
Yes!
Oh, God damn it.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
So we just watched the first 10 minutes of episode 69, which makes this submission 17 episodes in 10 minutes.
We watched for the end of the last arc and the filler arc ends and the filler arc begins.
Yeah, I didn't realize that like the first 10 minutes of this first episode of the filler arc was just going to be like wrapping up still.
Mitch got One Pieced again.
Yeah, but basically, so we saw Wendy officially join Fairy Tail. We got reunion scenes from a bunch of the members, and we saw Lucy actually get the keys.
Look, I feel like it was perfectly worth it. There was another 2 seconds of Juvia.
There was more than 2 seconds of Juvia, and it was aggressive Juvia.
Yes.
Like, that was Juvia to the end for a second.
That was like, that was back to get you a girl that makes you as wet as you make her.
Oh, God.
Juvia.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's only you, buddy. That is only you.
He's not wrong, though.
Yeah.
I mean... Yeah, so with that being seen now, that would mean that my next submission of Fairy Tail will be just the 20-episode Edolus arc. I'm gonna be honest, just so that the viewers know, but also the boys, since I was kind of already thinking about this, I feel like we've gotten a fair amount of the way into Fairy Tail at this point, and I'm pretty invested in kind of, I don't know, I'm okay making this like the first like major
shonen that you actually get us through.
Yeah. So I'm currently just planning on pushing this. All my other shonens I'll just put into the hat to like be drawn if they get drawn for now, but I will try to push us through this because I feel like at this point we've got a pretty good like pace going. Like we've been seeing Fairy Tail pretty consistently across 4 seasons. And I feel like, you know, you guys are getting a fair amount of it. Like you're actually getting to know characters and like plots and stuff like that. And honestly, I just really want to watch Edolus.
I mean, that's fair, yeah.
Yeah. Mostly because I really hated Edalus as like a young person watching this, you know, being like 12, 13 when I was watching it. And I feel like I will have a very different perception of Edalus now than I did then, because back then I really liked arcs like Oracion Seis, you know, like I was like, ooh, fight, fight, fight. And Edalus isn't as fight, 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 and so I wasn't as big a fan of it.
Hmm.
I also didn't appreciate the story nuance in Edalus when I was a kid. I think I would now, so I'm really excited to get to it. And then past that, Tenro Island, and then X791, and then Grand Magic Games. And honestly, once I get you guys to Grand Magic Games, I might as well finish the entire series.
How far is that?
Grand Magic Games is episode like 120 to 180.
Isn't it 400 episodes total?
No, it's like 320 total, and I'm skipping all the filler.
Oh, okay.
Except for one arc. I am keeping one filler arc in later.
Yeah.
And it's specifically because the filler arc I'm keeping in is the Rebellion of the Keys.
Oh.
And it's very similar to the Bleach Zanpakuto Rebellion arc, both of which are completely non-canon filler, but provide a lot of, in my opinion, really interesting character interaction between like a specific set of characters.
Seki is seeing the light at the end of the tunnel on Fairy Tail and realizes that if she really pushes us, we actually can probably catch up either before or after the first season of 100.
Close to 100 years quest, yeah.
Keep the fan service in. We'll be happy.
Yeah, no, I'll keep the fan service. I like the fan service too. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on Fairy Tail, and I think in my mind this is maybe not. I gotta be honest, this is not the first thing I thought I was gonna be getting you guys through. I think in my mind I had like some lofty goals on the channel of kind of getting you like through like all of One Piece, and then like Naruto, and then Fairy Tail, and then Bleach, and I kind of realized around season 2 that just wasn't happening.
You needed to buckle down, and actually, it was good to have the different ones on the channel, but
especially when we weren't going as heavy on rando, and like you needed me to break up the stuff I was submitting.
Yeah.
But I feel like now that we're incorporating a lot of rando in what I think is a pretty balanced way, I can submit Fairy Tail 3 times in a season.
It's not worth it to just try going all your shonen and getting us through none of them.
Yeah, because that's what I tried to do this season. I had like 4 different shonen submissions, like you guys saw. More One Piece, more Fairy Tail, more T.H.E.
Well, T.H.E. is just because you realize you haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, and I wanted to punish you a little bit.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't really a punishment, because it was actually a decent arc.
Now you need to do it again if you want to get it into A tier, which would be the ultimate anime redemption arc.
I mean, true. I might save one of my submissions next season,
that way.
just to finish off the arc that we're in.
When I put it that way.
When you put it that way, that like D tier to A tier rise from the ashes like a phoenix.
I think it was a C tier technically.
Yeah, because I liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So, you guys have any commentary, stuff you want to bring up?
I mean, I think you're probably going to get the best out of us from Fairy Tail, because I think that's the one that we enjoy the most, or at least find the most
Fairy Tail is very chill, and its biggest detriment is the fact that it feels like it's not like this continuous thing. It's like it's a very flavor of the week sort of shonen. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, that's also its biggest help in this format, because we can go away from it for a while, come back, and generally we still can get the gist of it.
Also, the benefit of Fairy Tail where we're at right now is that Fairy Tail does not have arcs that are to the sheer length of things like Naruto and One Piece, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Fairy Tail in length is comparable to Naruto, right? Especially Naruto, original Naruto. Not Shippuden, of course, because that's another 500 episodes, but original Naruto. But the arcs are actually more manageable, I find, in Fairy Tail. There's more arcs, and they're generally smaller, with the exception of a couple of really big arcs. Like, for example, Grand Magic Games, when I get you there. That arc is technically 53 episodes, but the way that I watched that arc, and I really personally think that it actually breaks down into 2 sub-arcs that form one plot line. So I think you can split it into, like, comfortably the games part and then the story part, and still have a pretty good comprehension. So I think I think that's to my benefit because thus far, other than accidentally splitting up stuff like Galuna Island because it was literally 10 episodes and I wasn't just going to show you 10 episodes, even though I did end up doing that because I'm a fucking idiot, I've been able to mostly just give you guys completed arcs. Which means I'm never leaving you hanging for like 3 months or 6 months on like whatever the final of this bit was. That will change. I will have to leave you hanging in some later stuff, like just briefly. But I think there are better breaks in the episodes than where I manage in some other shows. Like, for example, in One Piece right now, we're going into Alabasta. And I got you to the Cactus Island thing. But from, like, the Cactus Island thing to, like, the end of Alabasta is, like, 60 more episodes. Like, it's a lot of episodes. And so I'm really hesitant on thinking, like, how do I break up Alabasta, or can I logically just show you the movie?
You would need to, like, show us. You would need to, like, make an entire ass season of our podcast about just Alabasta.
At the same time, could I then instead just show you the episode of Chopper and Desert Princess as 2 movies together and basically get you through all the same content in a much abbreviated pace? But then would you lose something? Would I feel like you've lost something in the... Like, I like the idea that there are summation movies, like episode of East Blue, episode of Chopper, the Desert Princess saga, but you do lose, like, 70 episodes condensed into, like, a single film. You're gonna lose shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'm at the point in One Piece where I could show you anything because I can skip around. So
I just went and watched Film Red with you, so like, it's not that big a deal.
Exactly. So
I think the problem with Shonen, especially as you start skipping around, and this might be sort of the unsaid thing about skipping filler episodes, is if you skip filler episodes tend to be the more chill moments in Shonen. So I mean, ignoring like the anime original stuff. But like lighter, not as involved episodes of One Piece are where you're gonna get that reprieve, so it doesn't just feel like fight scene all the time.
Which is not a problem in Fairy Tail, because Fairy Tail actually has a bit of incorporation of general funny stuff into the arcs. But in the case of something like One Piece or Fairy Tail, sometimes by One Piece or Naruto, sometimes by skipping the filler, you're really just going from major arc to major arc.
So like a change in status quo in major arcs in One Piece isn't actually changing status quo. It just feels like, oh, this character was in, or this character did this thing, and now they're like this.
Yeah, or like, for example, right, like the tuning exams, right? You're not even through that. It is episode 20 to 60. It is 47 episodes. And that's like the 3rd arc in the show. And then that goes directly into the Konoha Crush, which I think is a decent arc that you should see, but that's another 22 episodes. And then Search for Tsunade, which is another 30 to 40 episodes, right? Or 20 episodes. And then the Sasuke Recovery Mission, which is 30 episodes or so, right?
Also, Fairy Tail's a much newer shonen than a lot of these, right? Didn't it only start in 2009 or so?
A little bit earlier, but yeah. I think,
Actually, you probably get us into Bleach. I think we might like Bleach.
So the manga started in 2006. The anime started in 2009. You're right.
Yeah. So it's possible to say, like, a lot of these other ones are older, like they're early 2000s,
early
late
2000s. Yeah.
So it might just be because you see it nowadays, especially manga arcs.
In a lot of ways, Fairy Tail's transitional.
Yeah.
Because the entirety of Fairy Tail, accounting for both pre and post time skip, is shorter than Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. And then if you combine like all of Dragon Ball, it's shorter, right? So Fairy Tail is per capita a shorter show. Even shorter if you take out all the filler arcs, because there are filler arcs. Although I do appreciate that Fairy Tail tends to just do filler arcs instead of individual episodes, because it makes it easier for me to skip it. But yeah, it's almost transitional, where it's shorter and the arcs are getting more and kind of more condensed. You know, like things are happening at a little bit of a better pace. Like, it's not quite the sort of Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen, which
but
is
it's not nearly at the level of One Piece, where an arc was like, and it, like, what was it?
Then again, I feel like One Piece is really an outlier in this discussion, because I feel like a better comparison would be Bleach or Naruto.
Well, I mean,
Because One Piece is an outlier.
even going to the shorter arcs of One Piece, like the entirety of what was it, the Sanji introduction arc,
Yeah, it was like
It
15
was just-
episodes.
15 episodes of one single fight scene,
Yeah. Well, there were a few fights, but
but it was mostly one
one
fight scene.
penultimate battle. Yeah. It was a long arc. And I mean, when you think that One Piece is so long that it's split into pre and post New World, and then sagas in each, and then each saga is broken down into the arcs that make up each saga.
Whereas like with Fairy Tail Year, well, I am complaining that it's just like fight scene after fight scene after fight scene, changing characters every time. At least it's not just one fight scene.
They're
Yeah.
all relatively different.
Yeah.
So I think, anyways, that's my plan going forward. I would like to really push a concerted amount of Fairy Tail in the next season. At least 3 submissions. I will get us to Grand Magic Games.
Mhm.
Or at least right before Grand Magic Games by the end of next season. That's my goal. Because then the season after, what I can do is I can just do Grand Magic Games, which will be 2, maybe 3 submissions. And then you'll be like, and Grand Magic Games is my favorite arc of the entire show. So, after Grand Magic Games, I will make a decision on whether or not I feel the need to just finish the show off. Because at that point, maybe we might as well, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of my thing.
I think it's time for our spin that wheel.
Yeah, it is a rando we're pulling out.
Bada bing, bada boom. I press the choose.
Saki.
No. It is actually one of Realm's submissions.
Oh, well, we'll invite him. What is it?
86 season 2.
Oh, wow.
That's a bit of a throwback.
Yeah. I will let him know we're watching that and see if he wants to join us since he's, he actually might be able to.
Oh, we're watching all of 86 this season. Yay!
Didn't we technically start it last season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's part of last season's officially. Sorry. Kind of putting the kibosh on your happiness. But yeah, technically.
I mean, I still like season 2. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So I know that have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, NikNak's seen it. I don't know if Realm had seen it, but I have not. However,
I don't think he actually has seen it when we recorded it.
Okay.
I don't know about recently.
However, I don't really need to watch the trailer because I've read farther in the light novel. So I am looking forward to season 2. I am slightly biased because of NikNak, but I will try to overcome that.
Ignore me, but like, just for people that haven't seen it, I have an entire ass video on the channel about me saying how I thought 86 season 2 was fucking mid. But I'm also going to try going into this with a fresh pair of glasses here because because I'm wearing different glasses than I did last time I watched this. And B, because now there's been a little bit more time between 86 season 1 and season 2 for me. And now that it's no longer releasing weekly, I'm going to wonder if anything changes for me watching it more in close denseness. And it'll probably help that unlike when it was coming out, there's not going to be like a 2 or 3 month gap between some of the episodes. So I'm gonna try to change my mind on this one.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I probably will actually get back to reading 86 because I stopped at volume 3 because I've been way too fucking busy.
Oh, so you've only read up through season 2?
Yeah.
Huh. All right then. Well, I think that about does it for our.
Yeah, so we'll be back with 86.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
See you next time. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and try harder, everyone.